in Sunday's final. As the Jets prepare for quarterback Mike White to start Sunday versus the Lions, Coach Robert Saleh announced that Zach Wilson will be the backup QB. Wilson was benched after struggling badly in the Week 11 loss. Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill continuing to deal with an ankle injury, but is expected to play in Saturday night's showdown against the Bills. Miami looking to bounce back after back-to-back losses. A couple of reasons behind the Dolphins' mini slide, points out ESPN's Dominique Foxworth.
Part of the problem in the last couple of weeks is the defenses they played against have played better, but Tua also has been antsy in the pocket, and I think that speaks to him being kind of an operator of a machine, and when that machine goes a little off kilter, then he doesn't exactly know what to do, and they can't have success, which is kind of been the issue with them so far.
Miami is 2 back of AFC East leading Buffalo. NBA Hornets point guard LaMelo Ball upgraded to questionable tonight against the Pistons, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Ball has missed the last 11 games with a sprained ankle.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We come to you, as always, live here on ESPN Asheville and YouTube in the Ingles Studio. Low prices, love the savings. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and it's a Wednesday. It's December the 14th, and we got football season going on, and I'm still trying to care about anything else.
Oh, yeah, the NBA had the best game of the entire season, and I watched exactly 0 seconds of it.
The Celtics and the Lakers.
LeBron James did what he does best and almost won a game. Let's go. Let's go.
Hockey hit a milestone last night, a major milestone, and I'm not a hockey guy, so I can't get into it.
I like hockey. I like hockey. I'm officially to the point I like hockey better than the NBA.
I mean, congratulations to Alex Ovechkin for hitting 800 goals. Only the 3rd guy in NHL history to do it.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm not much of a milestone
I'm
guy.
more excited about the Army-Navy football game than I am about Alex Ovechkin hitting 800 goals.
You know what I'm more excited about? We, next week, are going to get into the Christmas season, and we're picking the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
The brilliant idea has struck Jeremy's brain like a bolt of lightning out of nowhere.
Actually, I just mathed. I'm a big fan of mathing. We have 5 shows next week. There would be 5 rounds of this tournament to choose a winner.
Indeed. So much like we did, the overrated bands bracket, stuff like that. We've done best sitcoms. I think we did that back in the Corona days when there were no sports to talk about.
And for $1 million, I couldn't tell you what because I don't remember.
I think it was Seinfeld, but
I think it was too.
Not positive on that one. But we're going to do best Christmas movie.
So in the comments of our YouTube stream, we have asked, what movies must be in this bracket? And I'll be honest with you, there's only one movie that I am definitively saying must be in.
Die Hard.
Bingo. Greatest Christmas movie I have ever seen. It must be in, and I personally want it to be a 1 seed.
I mean, how many Christmas movies we're going to put in this thing?
32.
Are you serious?
100%.
Wow. Okay. 32 Christmas movies in this. I was thinking like 16 was all you really needed, but
no. Because if there's only 16, then it gets hard to get Batman Returns and Die Hard and the truly great Christmas season movies.
Elf.
That'll be an 8 seed that will get just dog walked.
I don't think it will.
I feel like the people of this here sports radio program are bright, and they know that's not even the best Will Ferrell Christmas movie.
Not true.
Oh, it's 100% true. Daddy's Home 2, way better. Way better.
Stop that. Jeremy did see a Christmas movie again last night.
I'll go ahead and tell you, this one didn't get 2 beers. This one's got 2 beers in it, but there's a number in front of that 2.
As he always gives us the scale of not stars, it's not 1 to 5 stars, it's 1 to infinity domestic lights. How many does he have to rewatch this movie after it's done? So the lower the score, the better the movie. Daddy's Home 2 was yesterday.
That was 2.
That was 2 beers.
A Christmas Story Christmas was also 2, which is funny because the original Christmas Story was 22. So far, the high water mark is Elf, which was 24 and counting.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost have to legally die. You just turn it on, and the fact that I'm still alive, it would count. Because that's the only way I will ever watch that movie
again.
He needs
a whole case. He's got a whole case to get through before he will watch Elf again, which is odd to me, but okay. I mean, we've had this fight before, and we all know you're wrong. Elf is a delight, and it is a staple of the season. So it will definitely be in the tournament next week. What are the best Christmas movies? So get them in the YouTube comments. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join us in the chat. That's how you get your movies included into this tournament that will be taking place over the course of next week, amongst all of the football things that we have to do each and every week.
And we will be doing those today because we are going to tell you what it is that will preclude or allow every contender to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I'll give you a hint. There's not that many that fall into this. I wanted to do 4, but I was told no. The betting odds say that there are more than 4 teams that can win a Super Bowl. Yes. I disagree. And I got outvoted there.
Well, I mean, you can't discount the Detroit Lions.
Did you see NFL.com had them in the top 10 too?
Yeah.
Wasn't just me.
It's hard not to do it.
Yeah, because you have such a drag water. Basically, anybody that's in the teens. I mean, okay, you're good-ish.
And you have so many teams. You have teams that have stagnated, or they've gone up a little bit, they've gone down a little bit, and they've just kind of maintained right around that same, that same area. And to me, the Dallas Cowboys fall into that, but I know the national media is drunk on them, and every power rankings you're going to see, they're in the top 5, which is ridiculous to me. But that's the difference between the top of the NFL and the bottom of the NFL. You can swing so quickly. In our power rankings that we did yesterday, Detroit went from 24 to 9 in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And they should have. And I'll be honest with you, of all the things, we put both of our power rankings out on the social medias. Of all the things that I got pushback for, the Lions were none of it. Nobody had a qualm with that. There was a little bit of a qualm with the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of people, but why do you not have the Philadelphia Eagles number 1? Because I'd like for you to beat somebody. That would just be tremendous.
Now, we have to play the teams that are on our schedule. I'll say the same thing that they say about teams from the Pac-12. We have to play who's on the schedule.
Yeah, and in large part, I don't care about the Pac-12 either.
But it's the same principle. Like, I can't beat who's not on my schedule.
Mm-hmm. And see, now you're falling into that trap that drives me crazy. Well, that's not fair. Neither is life, okay? Some of us are born 6'5", and some of us are born 5'4", like Tank. Sorry. There are advantages that some of us get and some of us don't.
So the advantages, the advantage for the Cincinnati Bengals in being ranked number 1 this week in the power rankings is that they played a tougher schedule?
Yes. Okay. And that's going to – look, think of this in terms of the college basketball season. Do you not see that every single year, Gonzaga plays nobody. Then they go into the tournament. They struggle with the first good team they play, and usually they lose in the first 2 or 3.
That's yeah. Aside from the last few years, yeah, that's been their history.
I mean, that's how many titles they got?
None.
And there it is.
But, I mean, they've made it much deeper into the tournament the last few years.
And that and $1 US will get them a Coke.
I was gonna say you got to give them their props. I mean, they played for a national title 3 times
and got hammered. Lost people millions of dollars because they bought in. And look, I'm not saying that that's what Philadelphia is. What I'm saying is you're not going to know until you know. And if I'm right, and I really think that I am, when you know, you're going to know quickly. The Dallas Cowboys, I hate to break this to you, they're not very good. So when Philadelphia beats them senseless, that doesn't really mean a lot to me. Minnesota, they're not very good either. Tennessee, they're not very good either. Greatest stat I heard all day yesterday. If you take away the 140-yard run that Derrick Henry had against the Jaguars, do you know what he's averaging per carry the last 5 weeks?
1.8.
3.04 yards a carry. That's hard to do for a running back that's 6'3", weighs 240 pounds. And these are your high water marks. This is what we did. That wouldn't be in the top 5 for Cincinnati by the end of this year. And that's just where I'm at. And there will come a time that I have to defer to, I get Joe Burrow, you get Jalen Hurts. Could I be wrong? Sure. Happens all the time. I don't think I am. When rubber meets road, there's 5 minutes left in the game, and we're tied in the Super Bowl, I get Joe B, you get Jalen Hurts. Advantage me by a billion D.
And I can't disagree with any of that. Joe Burrow, we've talked about his champions mentality all the time. Won a national championship in college, won the AFC last year, went on to the Super Bowl, and in that run, we talked about it. When the lights get brighter, Joe Burrow shows up. He's got that attitude. So I get why you trust him. But I guess I'm still on it's the Cincinnati Bengals. Actually, it will break my brain when it comes down to the Super Bowl. If it comes between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know what to do with that. Like, because historically speaking, both of these franchises are the ones that just poo in the punch bowl.
Well, historically speaking,
when it's presented to them.
Historically speaking, one of them was in the Super Bowl last year. The other one's won one in the last 6 years. So I don't really care what you did in 1994. Lou Anarumo was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today.
Yep.
First of all, he a dog, and he's gonna get a head coaching job at some point, I think. Basically, everything he said was everything I see in Cincinnati. Iron sharpens iron. Our defense is getting better every single day because they have to line up with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon. I could keep doing that. And at the end of the day, I don't see those things with a lot of other teams. I just don't. So that is and I'm not telling you, everyone makes it sound like, well, Philadelphia's going to lose in the first round to the Atlanta Falcons. No, that's not what I said. I have more faith in one than the other. And if you look at the Vegas odds, which we will talk about after the break, I feel like the desert is trying to tell you something, and you can listen or you can not, and that's totally up to you.
Yeah, there were a whole lot of people that were on my side when we posted out the different power rankings yesterday on the social medias. I saw a lot of, I'm going with Tank on this one. Philadelphia has just been the team that you can't argue with the record, and you can't argue with the way that they have beaten their last 2 opponents. It just feels like this team is hitting a stride. Everything is working from the running game to A.J. Brown, and the defense is scary. Maybe it's true. Maybe what you say is, they haven't faced real tough opponents like the Cincinnati Bengals have, and that it's just going to make Cincinnati stronger when you get there. Maybe. Also could have the possibility to beat them up by the Super Bowl. And then it's just a battle of attrition. Then you got an ailing Cincinnati Bengals against the Philadelphia Eagles who cruise through the NFC.
That's a narrative that people use.
Could end up being there.
That's a narrative that people use every year I physically cannot find one example of that ever happening.
None of it?
Not once. If you got one, more power to you, because I heard that same thing yesterday. Well, Cincinnati's going to play all these good teams, and they'll be killed. Okay, give me the example.
Sports. It happens in sports.
Give me the example.
Okay, last year, Alabama Crimson Tide. They lose their star wide receiver before the national championship against Georgia.
On a non-contact injury.
It had an impact.
It would literally not have mattered if they were playing Louisiana Monroe, Georgia, or the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Injuries happen.
Yeah. That's what
Injuries can happen anywhere. It doesn't really matter who you play. Because people make it sound like Philadelphia's going to walk through the NFC playoffs and nobody's going to be in the game in the third quarter. That's not going to happen. I don't care how good you think Philadelphia is.
Good.
Give me the example of that. Jalen Hurts could learn to fly.
Dallas Cowboys game, the Vikings game, both of those games.
I'm talking about in the
playoffs.
Quarter, wasn't it? I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Oh.
Yeah, in the last 5 years, we've had 3 playoff games that were more than two touchdown differential.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think that you're going to have to play 2.
And they will. But they could also flex their muscle. And can they do it against the San Francisco 49ers defense in the NFC Championship game? Should it come down to that? I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe they can't. We'll give you the reasons why they will or they won't coming up later on in the program here on ESPN Asheville.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Holiday shopping is exhausting. I hit like 30 stores already. You?
I went to Verizon.
Oh, and?
And that's it.
Seriously?
Seriously. I got the new iPhone 14 Pro on Verizon, plus more Apple gifts like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, also on Verizon. A value of up to $1,900.
Seriously?
Yeah, the iPhone 14 Pro is perfect for my teenager. Its new Pro camera system takes amazing pictures, even in low light. She's gonna love it.
So who gets the Apple gifts?
Oh, the Apple gifts? I'm keeping those for myself.
Kinda like a finder's fee?
More like a holiday miracle.
Seriously.
This holiday, get to your Verizon store for their best deal of the year. A service plan is required for gifts. 5G phone, up to $999.99 device payment purchase or full retail purchase with newer upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $1,000 trade-in promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for offer details. Up to $1,900 value based on iPhone, Apple Watch, iPad, and Beats.
Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
It can happen easily. A few drinks becomes a few too many. It's time to go, and you think of calling for a ride home. Nah, what's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone, drive sober, or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cod?
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Get those submissions in the YouTube chat for the greatest Christmas movie of all time tournament. It's going to be coming up next week here on the program as we head into the Christmas holiday. Programming note, we will not be with you on the radio between Christmas and New Year's. We will be taking that week off. We will be doing some extra content, though, throughout the week. We are in discussions to do the Friday picks and all of that still.
When the Christmas season ends, that means it is officially the start of the Draftmas season, which is 4 months long, and it's so wonderful.
Get your submissions in. We have all manner of movies there's the usual suspects, obviously, being mentioned, thrown out for a spot in the championship. Jason Trump threw out Krampus, which
I will be reviewing later in this here program, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be particularly nice to it.
In a 32 movie tournament, it should be ranked about 173.
Oof.
My opinion.
It was brutally slow.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was.
Look,
I had a ton of people tell me to watch that too.
I had never seen it. I had always thought like, it could be fun. Maybe we'll do it. And then when I knew Jeremy was going to watch it, I was like, well, I got to watch it so I can give my take. But I lasted maybe 25, 30 minutes into it, and I was like, nothing's happening. There is no Krampus, whatever this is.
I actually fell asleep.
Goat boy.
I actually fell asleep and had to watch the end this morning, and it didn't get any better overnight.
Like, you took a break in the middle. It was like,
I'll be honest with you.
Let me see it with fresh eyes. Maybe I'm too tired.
If you had told me Adam Scott and David Koechner are that's a highlight of this movie.
Who?
The guy from Anchorman.
Yep, that guy.
You know the guy I'm talking about. The guy that wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I can't remember his...
Yeah. Brick, that was Champ. That was his name in the movie, right? In
Champ.
Anchorman?
Yes.
Yeah. Champ Kine.
Yeah, he was way better in that movie than he was in this one.
He was in that? I didn't even make it to that
part. So you made it 4 minutes because he was literally in the first 5 minutes.
No. Was he?
Yeah. He's the annoying brother-in-law that shows up with his kids.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Okay, yeah. See, I've already wiped so much of it from my memory. The only one I could really remember was the guy from Step Brothers.
Adam Scott.
Yeah, that guy. It's like, hey, that's the guy. He can sing a little bit. And then stuff. Yay. Not good. Jeremy's review of the Krampus movie will be coming up later on in the program, but get your submissions in the YouTube chat for the Christmas movie tournament. Again, we'll be going over each round of the tournament next week on this here program. So, where we left off with our discussion of will they or won't they? Where do you want to start with the Detroit Lions?
No, what I teased going in the break is that Vegas is trying to tell you something. Because that we have new updated Super Bowl odds. Who's the most likely team to win the Super Bowl?
Kansas City Chiefs.
No. They're
Philadelphia
3.
Eagles.
No, they're 2.
Buffalo Bills.
There you go. Plus 380 on FanDuel. Eagles are plus 450. Kansas City Chiefs are plus 450. That's not really the point. It's if you look at the next 6, they're trying to bait you into something. Because 4 is the Dallas Cowboys. And 5, well, tied for 4th, the San Francisco 49ers, who have Brock Purdy playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? Vegas doesn't believe that. I get the Vegas poll. They don't believe any of that. I promise you that. They know you'll bet that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down to the Bengals and the Ravens and the Vikings. Your Buccaneers are 9. Nobody with an IQ above the table I'm leaning on right now actually believes that.
No.
If 16 teams got abducted by aliens, I'm still not sure I'd have Tampa Bay at 9, depending on who the teams were.
But that's the Tom Brady effect, right?
Because people bet with their hearts, not with their heads.
But does it not also come to there's a greater possibility that the old Brady shows up, they go on a hot streak, much more than it is that, I don't know, Geno Smith rekindles the early year magic and runs the table. It's much more likely that the Tom Brady scenario happens than the Geno Smith scenario.
I don't agree with you.
The odds are...
I don't agree with you.
Really?
And Vegas doesn't agree with you either. They know they can hammer people when they see plus 2,700 on Tampa Bay. But the shtick of what I'm trying to say here, 5 of the top 8 are in the NFC. What does that tell you? It tells you that Vegas is looking at the NFC going, we have absolutely no idea. We know who the cream of the crop is in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
It's Buffalo, Kansas City, and you know what? We'll take a little leverage on Cincinnati because it's not that popular of a team, and a lot of people are going to have the exact same take you do of, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Well, that's not how gambling works. That's why Vegas has gold fixtures, because they see it well before you do. The drop-off from there is double to the Baltimore Ravens. You add another 500 to the Miami Dolphins. Another 1,000 from there to the Chargers, and another 1,000 from there to the Titans. That's Las Vegas saying, this comes down to 3 teams. One of them is going to get away from playing the other 2. That's the one we like, which is why Buffalo is the most likely team to win the Super Bowl.
Interesting.
Plus, they're horribly leveraged on Buffalo anyway because they caught a ton of money on the Bills before this season started. So you really can't inflate Buffalo for the risk of, well, this could hurt just a whole mess.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to take on that kind of liability.
Correct. I mean, you already have a gross liability on the Buffalo Bills as it sits.
If the Cincinnati Bengals are as good as you think they are, or as championship likely as you think they are, to me that still seems odd that they'd be plus 1,000. I mean, that's a pretty big liability for Vegas, isn't it?
Not
if
really.
People jump on this?
Not really, because they know that they're going to catch their money on. All right, so the way they set odds, let's say I'm right and they catch the liability on me with the Cincinnati Bengals. They know there were probably 5 billion dum-dums that, how about them Cowboys that have $1 billion on Dallas?
Right.
That makes up for all of it.
Gotcha.
I'm not that worried about Dallas or I'm not that worried about Cincinnati because Dallas will cover that. Buffalo will cover that. Philadelphia will cover that. Now, Buffalo, on the other hand, there's so much money there. Even at 4-1, they were 33% of bets, I think, before the season.
Sounds about right.
That's a liability that you can't cover with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much money comes in on what. You're still going to take a bath.
Unless you can put inflated numbers on some of these.
On the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
you put plus 900 on Dallas.
Right.
When a series of people think they're the 3rd best team in the NFL, and they flood it.
Pump up the action.
And Philadelphia's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia number is to me, as a many year gambler. You remember in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons where they would set the pie on the windowsill and then the smoke would go up and the finger, and there would go Bugs and wall. That's what Philadelphia is. Because if you were actually afraid that they were a contender, that number would be smaller. And not a contender, a favorite. A legitimate, no doubt favorite. Mm-hmm. That number would be lower.
So lower than 450.
Yes, they would be the favorite to win it outright. Because you're laying yourself into another piece of leverage. So you can be leveraged against 2 teams at the same time, where now you're not going to make that up.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is making sense. This gets very three-dimensional.
I'm trying to wrap my head around. Look, I don't know these things, and I don't think there are a lot of people that know these things. I think it's interesting to know how Vegas sets their lines because, I mean, let's face it, even if you're not a gambler, as time goes on, it's becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger part of the game.
Oh, no doubt. Vegas's whole mantra is CYA. Cover your tookus. And that's what they do.
Right.
They don't ever make mistakes. But on the rare chance that they do and they feel like there is a possibility that they're going to get hurt, they're going to make it up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right now they're making it up with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2,700, and they're 9th.
I'm surprised anybody would take that, but okay.
Oh, the Tom Brady fanboys will go, I get Tom at 27-1. Take $4,000. Here you go.
Oh, you might as well set it on.
I mortgaged my car. I know that's not how it works. It was a joke.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
You know, I keep waiting for that moment when there's and we've had small instances of coworker on coworker violence in the media in the past. But I think I'm still waiting for the day where Shannon Sharp just knocks Skip Bayless's block off.
I think we came very close to that yesterday.
We did. They got into it on their show on Monday where they're talking about Tom Brady and they're talking about, you know, how bad he is, how washed he is, and Skip keeps trying to bring up, but he's Tom Brady, and then Shannon's playing career got brought into it somehow. Like he was talking about what it's like to be a GOAT aging. You're one of the greatest players of all time and you're losing your abilities and it hurts and blah, 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 blah. And Skip basically shut him down and was pushing back saying, you weren't that good. To which Shannon goes off on a tirade and talks about how he always tries to make it personal and I'm in the effing Hall of Fame. And
that was when I knew that we have broken the fourth wall here, and this is for realsies.
I got 3 Super Bowls. And why the disrespect? And at some point, I'm just waiting. Shannon, there is a bunch of us that would definitely give in to some sort of a GoFundMe campaign, or if you got fired by Fox for putting that dude's chiclets down his throat, we would all support a podcast of just Shannon Sharp just to see you do it.
This is exactly why Skip Bayless does things like this. And I guarantee you, as soon as they went off camera, there went little Skip just laughing, going, watch how many hits this gets. And I promise you, Shannon Sharp was legit mad.
Absolutely he was.
And he's probably still not over it right now.
No.
But then when he came off screen, he went, yeah, you're right. This is going to do 20 million hits. And it'll be the highest rated show we've had. Blah, blah, blah.
Look, I don't need 20 million hits. I just need one. And that's Shannon's fist with Skip's face. That's all I want. That's all I want for Christmas.
Skip Bayless is a master salesman, and I will give that to him. He irks me, too.
He's awful.
Well,
he plays the game well.
I told you this. I told you this day was coming, and we are officially there. NIL money has passed any semblance of winning. And the example is one Mr. Austin Reed. Do you know who that is?
No.
He is the quarterback for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
Okay.
One of the more prodigious quarterbacks in the country. It's a very pass-happy system.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Helton's the head coach. Bailey Zapp set NCAA records there a couple years ago.
Right.
Well, Austin Reed entered himself into the transfer portal. Started his career at Southern Illinois. Wound up at Western Kentucky. I'm going to the transfer portal, and he was very highly sought. We all thought that he was headed to Louisville and that Jeff Brom had his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only one problem. A company that we do not know who they are yet, but we know it's a company somewhere around Western Kentucky, ponied up the NIL money, and he's coming back.
Wow.
Apparently, he went, I would rather stay at Western Kentucky, make the NIL money, and then come out a year from now than go to the ACC and play at the highest level.
There you go.
When this gets to the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, boys and girls, we are officially to the Wild Wild West. There are no rules. It is anarchy. It is exactly what I told you it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
And I like
does
it.
anybody say, how do you like it?
I'm just saying.
How do you like it?
If Western Kentucky is going to rally their sponsors or their boosters or whoever to get in on keeping their players, that makes it better, does it not? It keeps the guys from transferring to the bigger programs. It's what you said was going to it's going to ruin everything because all the greatest players are going to play for Alabama.
Oh, no.
Not necessarily.
I never cared about that. No, I want the best teams to be the best teams. Now, I think a lot of these fringe guys are going to go to Alabama I'll be a starter in 2 years. No, you won't. Because the starter will be whoever they go to find to replace you that has played somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I did have an issue with that. I have an issue with the freedom of movement. And I tried to tell everybody, if you open this floodgate, Pandora's box is not going to be pretty. We could play a game right now of starting quarterbacks that have to return.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they now? And you would fail it gruesomely.
I'm sure I would.
See, to me, there's no allure to that. I have no idea where these guys go. There's no loyalty to the school whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But the coaches do it, for $10 million buyouts. And I heard Seth Greenberg in this city say the smartest thing I've ever heard, and you mark my words, it's coming. These players will have contracts that they have to buy themselves out of. Mm-hmm. And I'm here for it. You want that freedom of movement? Great. Get your checkbook ready. I'm here for it.
You got to buy yourself out of your scholarship.
Bingo. You agreed to this? You figure it out. You want to go to Alabama or Georgia or whatever the case may be? You figure out how to pay for it. Call Nike or the what's it? Raising Cane's that did a bunch of NIL deals. See if they'll cut that check for you.
But why? Why would you do that?
Because this is anarchy. There's nothing. I have never cared less about college football than I do right now. And you've got bowl games. I told sports freak Brian Hall this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot figure out what companies are looking at these bowl games going, yeah, give me that.
Oh, yeah.
Cheez-Its on 2 of them. Look at the roster who's playing. These games are not watchable, and it's because of this amalgamation of things.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. You got what you wanted. And the high side of your sport has never been more popular. And the low side of your sport has never been less popular.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
That's why I like I don't remember who did it. It might have been Ryan McGee that did it in the offseason, an article on ESPN, and I think we talked about it on the show, about moving the bowl games to the preseason.
And
the first couple of games of the season are like primo matchups. You take it on last year's standings and match it up that way. Then the sponsors get what they want. They know they're getting a full squad. They know that they're getting a primo matchup. That may be the way to go.
And then when the playoff starts, you got the 6 playoff bowl games and nothing else.
No, you shut it down.
The Myrtle Beach Bowls in August, as opposed to playing in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in December.
Yeah.
Which, you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud?
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And then the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has tech gifts for everyone on your list at great prices. Right now at Staples, the new Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation is just $199. You save $50. In-store only offer ends 12/17, limit 2. The latest tech gifts now at Staples, the working and learning store.
Imposter scams are anything but fake news. We're here talking with Colleen Tressler, a consumer education specialist with the FTC's Division of Consumer and Business Education. Colleen, can you give us some examples of imposter scams and how they work?
Imposter scams come in many varieties, but generally work the same way. A scammer pretends to be someone you trust and tries to convince you to give them money or personal information. Scammers may claim that they're calling from a tech company, think Microsoft or Apple, saying your computer has been hacked. Maybe they say they're from your bank, warning about an unauthorized transfer. Amazon notifying you about an unauthorized purchase, or even the government saying you're in trouble with the law. Some scammers pretend they're a loved one who needs help in some way. So no matter the story, there's always a reason you'll need to pay quickly and use a specific payment method.
Thank you, Colleen. If you'd like more information, you can easily find it. Just head out to consumer.ftc.gov today.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, and we are back in the Ingles studio. Well, I think Jeremy might have got lost or got up in the bathroom or something. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, in the comments on YouTube, if you are not signed up, subscribe to the channel, please do so. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Hey, there he is. He made his way back. I thought you might have gotten lost or something. In the comments on the YouTube channel, subscribing gets you into the chat. And Stephen Tao says, can't judge these players for taking sponsorship money. You guys basically do the same thing. Absolutely, Tao. That's always been my take on this.
I mean, I have no problem with you taking the money. If you can take the money, that's fine. I had a problem with it being offered in the first place because I saw this coming because I trust the NCAA about as much as I trust knowing things about the Clintons. So, yeah, I didn't like how this was going to go. I don't like how it's going right now.
The problem is
when Deion Sanders shows up to a room full of scholarship kids and goes, you should get your name in the transfer portal. That's a bad look. Nobody addressed that, but I will. That's a bad look. He's always setting a tempo. Whatever. You call it whatever you want to call it. That was a bad look. Ryan Walters at Purdue. Have you seen the story on him today?
No.
So he was the defensive coordinator at Illinois. And there was a kid, it was a running back, I can't remember his name. The first thing he did, this kid was a walk-on that had 100-something yards against Illinois. Put him on scholarship the second he walked in the doors. First thing he did. First team meeting. That's how you set a that's how you set a tempo.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you set a culture. Not walking in going, everybody here, you should get your name in the transfer portal because I'm bringing my guys with me.
Right. It's just a bad
And
look.
I love Dion,
Mm-hmm.
but that was a bad look, and a lot of these other things are bad looks.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, in some senses of the word, yes, but in another sense, I mean, if you're a Colorado fan, don't you like that? Don't you like a new coach coming in and saying, we're not going to do this anymore, we're not going to lose anymore?
Well, I mean, you should look at your administration more than your coach. And that's a much bigger story, but yeah, no doubt. If you're a Colorado fan, yeah, I love that. We're going to be winners.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 years from now when he sees dollar signs at another place, you keep that same momentum. Why don't you?
Look, you got to. You have to play the game, and this is how the game is played. If you want to be a player, you're going to have to pony up the dough. You're going to have to pay for you got to pay to compete. It's always been this way. It's just now I guess it's more out in the open.
Yeah. That will be the most interesting story of college football next year, by the way.
Oh, Dion at Colorado?
No doubt.
Absolutely. Because if he comes in and fails,
he's not going to fail.
It's going to be disappointing.
Oh, he's not going to fail. There's zero doubt in my mind. They will be bowl eligible next year. Mm-hmm. They will be high level competitive the year after that.
Okay.
Now my question
You're talking like national title contender.
They'll be a playoff contender in 2 years. Now my question is, where in the world is all of this money coming from, and why did you not spend it in the last, 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
There was a story out 2 weeks ago, or I guess this was last week. Man, it's been a long week. That Colorado didn't even have the money in the coffers to pay Dion, but we'll have it soon. Okay,
but
sure, that has no recipe for disaster.
But why would you do that? Why would you all of a sudden take that stance? You're a team that's never really been. I mean, I get back in 1990, we tied for a national championship with Georgia Tech. Okay. But you've never been a program that really had year in, year out chance to win.
Yeah, and there were reasons for that.
And now you do. Now you do.
For now.
The Pac-12's opening up, and now you've got a chance to be the top of that conference.
For now.
Until what?
Until Dion sees more money somewhere else. I mean, Florida State job opens 2 years from now. You think he's sticking around at Colorado? Because I got a bridge to sell you if you do.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I think he would be as open and honest about that as I would be.
Maybe. Colorado's not a, what do they call it, a destination job.
It's not a bad job if the administration can get their ducks in a row.
Yeah, but that's not like a settling. Like I'm going to settle here for the next 20 years and
not for Dion, but it could
be.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Ryan Walters, this would have been a destination job.
Oh, 100%.
And he played at Colorado. So you could have done all of that. I guess that's the bigger thing of what I don't understand. You could have had this guy that I really believe in. Really believe in. Mm-hmm. I think he's a great hire at Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had him and probably had him forever. All you'd have had to have done is open the checkbook the way you're doing it for Dion. Why'd you not do that? You know Dion's going to be out of here in 2 years.
Because it doesn't make a wave. I mean, it means something to guys like you who are, students of the game. You follow all these young hotshot coaches and all of that. But this puts your name on
Colorado
that.
would have been better for longer with Ryan Walters than they will be with Deion Sanders.
Maybe.
And I don't think that's even debatable.
Maybe.
Because the minute Dion leaves, you crater into the ocean.
If you can get him to stick around for a few years, 3-4 years,
no
something
shot.
like that, really?
No shot.
They become a title contender in 2 years, and he takes what? He takes the Florida State job, or he takes
I don't think the Florida State job's going to come open.
But I'm saying in Alabama, a Florida State, one of these top historic programs,
no doubt,
they automatically just come in and say, Dion will give you what you want.
No doubt.
Okay.
It may be a down program, but certainly He makes Colorado even relevant. I'll be honest with you. They go 6-6 this year. He'll be getting calls next year. And it's not about the money. I'm well aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the recognition. It's about the fame. It's about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if he finds a job that will give him more of that, in. He almost got the Florida State job 3 years ago when Norvell got it. The boosters had a problem with the staff he was going to assemble. They didn't know what it was going to look like.
Right.
That's why he wound up at Jackson State.
Right.
Now he's shown, that staff at Colorado is insane.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled Kent State's head coach to be his offensive coordinator.
Right.
At Colorado.
I don't know. If you can be competitive and you can be on that national scale, and then you get and then your head coaching job comes open, you're gonna attract more guys. You're gonna attract more.
Historically, that's not true.
Really?
Mike Leach at Washington State. Case in point.
Mm-hmm.
He had that team in the top 10. I think it's the highest they got.
Yeah.
Minute he left for Mississippi State. Did you see people clamoring to go to Pullman? No. They hired the Hawaii coach who wouldn't take the shot and got fired, and they promoted an assistant. Weird. Now they're in exactly the same boat they were in before.
Mm-hmm.
It's what will happen to Colorado, too.
Okay.
It's not the first time we've seen this where a splashy name takes a job, then they're gone, and then what happens? Oh, yeah, you revert right back to – because the administration doesn't change. They're willing to – that's what irks me about this. And this is a much more – it's a much deeper topic. Colorado is notoriously cheap. And this goes back to the story I told about Western Kentucky. That's a small school. They're trying to get bigger. I understand why you did that. I don't like it, but I get why you did it. Colorado's had this money forever. This is not a new thing. Why are you willing to do this now? Because you think that with USC and UCLA departing, that now you're the best program out west? Okay.
No. But you got a better shot than you ever had.
Delusional Darryl called. He's on line 1, and he'd like to have a chat.
We can get our name out there. That's what this move is all about for Colorado. We can get our name out there. We can be competitive for once.
I still maintain college football is going to be 20 programs 2 years from now that even kind of matter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tulane can get in the playoff and get beat by 60 by whoever they catch in round 1. That'll be fun.
And
I can't wait to do that.
And as I've said this entire time, that will change nothing because it's already that way. You already have 20 teams that can win a national championship, and that's it.
It's funny to me that you don't see the regression in this.
We got to take a break. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
The Ingles Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at Asheville Outlets as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingles locations. Donate online or at the Ingles Giving Tree at Asheville Outlets so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingles Markets, iHeartRadio, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this season.
In the past year, I've lost more than 90 pounds with the PhD weight loss program. PhD has helped me learn healthy nutrition. They've helped me learn a better way to live, how to get more sleep, how to get more active, and obviously how to put only the good things into my body. I never thought there would be a program out there that could give me the kind of results that I have seen with Dr. Ashley Lucas in this program.
I did not have a ton of weight to lose. I had just gotten very lazy in my food choices, and I got a little, say, chunky. In just under a year on PhD, I have gone from one of the highest weights I've ever seen back to my high school weight, and I've slid all the way into a brand new wardrobe thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
And if you're like me and you struggle sometimes to find motivation, that's why they have a group of dedicated health coaches that will not only help you out with the problems that you're having, but they will help keep you motivated throughout the process. It's myphdweightloss.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
At Target, make the holidays a breeze with same-day pickup and delivery. Order today and get it today by choosing free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery when you order on Target.com or through the Target app. This season, get festive faster and holiday the easy way with Target's same-day pickup and delivery. Choose free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery on everything you need for the holidays. Only at Target.
It is the Sportsocracy live from the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. We got the Sports Center update coming up in just about a minute and a half, so not a lot of time left in this hour to continue the discussion. We got plenty of time to talk about.
Oh, and we got a whole bowl season of irrelevant bowl games.
The circus that is college football.
Oh, I mean, I got wound up about this. So we do a segment in the Southeast for Ingles where we pick games, and so I had to do that today. I can't figure out how to bet the bowl game. There's so many players that are in the transfer portal and out. I don't even know what the rosters look like. There's literally a website that is showing the 2 deeps as they would currently sit.
Mm-hmm.
I grade 500 players a year. I don't know who half of these guys are. No clue. Florida's going to have to play me at quarterback. They're a 10-point dog in a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big knock on your sport.
Absolutely.
And now the bowl games, you're going to have to do something with that. And that's my problem with the NCAA is that I feel like you're chasing your tail. And it was why I was always against this, because I felt like it'd get to this point, and I don't think you have a ready way out.
Well, when you change your policies and you change the way you do business, it's always going to have unintended consequences. The plan is, or I guess the rebound is, how do you deal with those changes going forward? You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And then the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The rumors are true. Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell for a limited time. So if you've been craving those golden fries with their Mexican spices and that warm nacho cheese sauce you dip them in, go to Taco Bell and order some today. Contact store for participation, which varies.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Looking for holiday gifts that won't be re-gifted? Head to eBay Motors. With millions of parts and accessories at the right prices, there's something for every car lover on your list. And with the money you save, you can pick up something for yourself, too. Happy holidays indeed. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. World Cup semifinals, France has just beat Morocco 2-0 and will face Argentina in the final on Sunday. For the first time in 4 weeks, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson will be in uniform as the backup. The team is preparing as though Mike White will start. Wilson, benched November 23rd after struggling badly in the Patriots loss, will replace Joe Flacco as the number 2 QB this week. The move explained by head coach Robert Saleh.
Zach's been doing a great job. He's been deliberate in his approach over the last 3 weeks. He's been holding himself accountable with regards to how he wants to attack practice, how he's been performing in practice, going against our defense, which I think is a pretty good defense to go against.
Jets star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams with a calf injury considered 50-50 to play Sunday. Receiver Corey Davis on target to play. He did sustain a concussion against Buffalo. NBA, Hornets point guard LaMelo Ball upgraded to questionable tonight against the Pistons, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. He is hoping to be able to play. Ball did miss the last 11 games with a left ankle sprain.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We're in the Ingles studio as always. You can hear us everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Of course, locally, 92.9 FM. 880 AM and 1400 for folks out in Haywood County. And, of course, you can see us on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. You can subscribe to the channel when you get there. That'll get you into the chat. You'll also get the live alerts whenever we are putting out new content here in the Sportsocracy.
Which at this point is happening a lot.
It is. It is. Jeremy's got all his minions working day and night to churn out the greatest of draft tidbits for you.
Oh, just wait. There's a new thing coming January 1st.
His 3-round mock draft came out over the weekend, and some of these videos are really cool. Definitely encourage you to go check out the YouTube stream and see all of the hard work that Jeremy has put into the mock draft.
No, I got one coming out this afternoon that's going to really irk one fan base. The Chicago Bears.
Ooh.
I love to just poke them.
You do. You love poking the bear. When you no pun intended.
See what you did there.
No pun intended. Completely by accident on that one. But, I mean, you do. You find your little fan base that you can poke at, and you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until, well, either one of two things happens.
Well, about 70 of them threaten to kill me.
Yeah. Either you just get tired of mugging the dead guy, so to speak, or you have to completely change your tone on the team because they prove you wrong, like a la the Cincinnati Bengals last year.
Oh, yeah, that one, and it didn't take long for me to go, uh-oh, I went full Ralph Wiggum. I'm in danger.
Which, I mean, look, I'm not a Cowboy guy, but we're the Dallas Cowboys to somehow miraculously win the Super Bowl. I don't think I could handle the excitement that's going to come for the next shows, not only for us, but also for, well, that one guy on ESPN, on the TV, that always talks smack about the Dallas Cowboys.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I could not wait.
Yeah, you know what most Cowboy fans do after they win the Super Bowl? Turn off their PlayStation.
I was going to say, stop the VHS tape.
Yeah. Wake up. There are a lot of good answers here.
Because you hadn't won one in a while.
Almost 30 years.
Know. God, it's gross. It's gross. That's one of those things that makes me feel super old.
Oh, one of my favorite. It's actually saved on my computer. There are some canned responses. One of my canned responses is specifically to Dallas Cowboy fans. In the last 27 years, you have 5 less playoff victories than the Jets. Calm down, Scooter.
But the Dallas Cowboys.
And I actually think it's more than that now that I don't remember exactly what the number is, but it's more than one. Let's put it that way.
True or false, the Dallas Cowboys have to be lumped into the contenders for the Super Bowl.
Have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in life, the only things you have to do are pay taxes and die. And so I'm not going to go to they have to be, but I feel like you're getting ready to do that.
Absolutely, I'm getting ready to do that. Because
I'm glad you are, because this is the hardest team in the NFL for me to figure out how are they going to do it.
Right.
How are they not going to? Because they're not anywhere near as good as you think they are. Because Dak Prescott is way more Derek Carr than he is Pat Mahomes.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys start that line.
Okay.
So how do the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl? You don't know?
Can I lean on act of God? Mike McCarthy finds a genie's lamp and asks for one very specific thing, because I can't figure out how in the world this team is supposed to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we signed T.Y. Hilton. Awesome. You have CeeDee Lamb, and much like my dating record, before I met my wife, a whole slew of threes.
Mm-hmm.
This is just what it is. It's a good roster. It's not great. And I think you're going to struggle mightily with a team that can pop you. The Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders. Mm-hmm. I think once you get into the playoffs, and now it's much more about the Jimmies and the Joes than it is about the X's and the O's.
Right.
I like Washington more than I do Dallas.
Really?
Dak Prescott is closer to Taylor Heineke than he is to Pat Mahomes. And I don't think it's even close.
Sure. I don't feel like he's in Patrick Mahomes' class. But I also feel like Dak is he's in a, if not more than a, tier above Taylor Heineke as a starter in this league. My opinion. Certainly capable of more.
So, all right, so you're the Cowboy cheerleader. You tell me how they win a Super Bowl.
You continue to play good defense. You continue to cash in on big plays.
Continue to play good
turnovers. Yeah. What?
That Philadelphia game is just begging for you to sit down and watch it.
We give up a lot of yards. Okay, I know you give up a lot of yards, but you don't give up very many points either. And if you can do that against these top teams, you can maybe, limit the damage that they can do getting into the end zone.
In the last 3 weeks, they played heads up with the Giants, the Colts, and the Texans.
I know. I know. They play heads up with a lot of teams that they're not supposed to.
And this week, they're going to get dusted by a kitty cat. I mean, dusted. Mm-hmm. Scattered, smothered, covered, chunked.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe that. I know there are a lot of people that don't believe that. This is a team that can run the ball really well. They got a 1-2 punch at running back that can grind out games. They can control the time of possession, play stiff on defense, and hopefully Dak doesn't throw it away.
Tony Pollard can run really well.
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel Elliott is the definition of a league average running back at best.
That's fine.
So you Tony
The
Pollard
two
well.
of them combined make one good unit.
No, Tony Pollard by himself. The problem is that in this entire season, he has 158 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And he averages just over 10 carries
So
a game.
Zeke's not a useful running back to get you the short yardage when
He's
you
an
need
ancillary piece. He averages 4 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually every starting running back in this league does that exact same thing. Look, my problem with Dallas comes back to the coach, and it always has.
Mm-hmm.
That ghost-like corpse that is Mike McCarthy is not a good coach in this league. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
This is not a top 5 roster in the NFL. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
So you got a team that is going to be at a talent deficiency once you get through one round of the playoffs. You have the most overrated coach I have ever seen. A loudmouth owner. I mean, how many more things do I have to go to? How far down this rabbit hole do I have to go, this is why I don't like anything you do?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what I see happening. I see Dallas getting into the playoffs. My hope is that they avoid Tampa Bay because Todd Bowles is probably the only coach in the NFL that I think less of than Mike McCarthy. Steve Wilkes, I'll be honest with you, Carolina wins that division. You catch Dallas, I'm not sure I wouldn't take Carolina. It would certainly be close.
Okay.
And Dallas loses a game they shouldn't. They've done it for 25 years. Why in the world would they not? Why in the world would they stop doing it now?
Mm-hmm.
Just my 2 cents.
Just your 2 cents. Look, I see a path to where the Dallas Cowboys can win a Super Bowl. I also see a path where they lose in the first round. That's just the kind of team that they are. I mean, everybody, we knocked the snot out of the Indianapolis Colts a couple of weeks ago.
Whoa. So has everyone else.
Right. But also, more concerning is the fact that was, a 5-point game going into the fourth quarter?
The Indianapolis Colts at this point are the village drum. Everybody gets a shot to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your high water mark,
right,
you should really figure out, okay, so what is good in this league?
Mm-hmm. You put up 33 points in the fourth quarter on a team that nobody believes in. Congratulations. And you just played nose-to-nose with the Houston Texans.
And they should have. If they had any inkling of how to win a football game, they would have beaten you.
Easy on this whole Dallas is, top 3, top 4 in the NFL. Spare me on that. So there are so many reasons why they won't win a title.
We have one of these.
Uh-huh.
I'm your huckleberry.
Our buddy Armchair, our resident Canadan, said Tank sees a path in his imagination, which is the only place the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. It's in your imagination.
Maybe so.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. Because you think only by act of God will Dallas win a Super Bowl.
Unless Philadelphia is abducted by space aliens. Yes. Because Dallas got to have to win 3 games on the road and then go beat a team in the AFC, one of these AFC stalwarts.
It's been done before.
Frankly,
not by Dallas.
I'm at a level.
Been done before.
I'll level. I almost hope that you do. I almost hope that you get to Super Bowl 57, and for 2 weeks we get to hear, how about them Cowboys? And then you catch the Buffalo Bills. And those Bills fans that had to deal with your loud mouths for 3 solid Super Bowls get to beat you 62-2. You know what? I'm okay with that. I have no path how it would happen. But, man, it would be great.
So the Dallas Cowboys are the first are the line for me. Who would be your next team in the Super Bowl contender realm?
I can't say Detroit.
Would you have right? Would you have Los Angeles in this discussion? Would you have the Chargers in this discussion?
No.
Would you have?
No, you're going way deeper than I would.
Minnesota, Miami, any of those teams?
Miami. I'll say Miami would be my next one.
Okay.
That's another one that it's hard for me to figure out how it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard at all for me to figure out why it won't.
Oh, absolutely.
And after the break, we'll talk about that, as well as combining all of your selections for our 32-team best Christmas movie of all time bracket battle royal.
That was a lot of words. And we'll have to work on that branding because I don't think I can remember all of them.
I've been working on a character with the Battle for the Belt. Kind of in a cutting promos, pro wrestler style mood. So sorry. I went Macho Man there for just a second.
Right. We want to get all of y'all involved in the discussion of the greatest Christmas movie of all time, much like we did with the overrated bands bracket. We've done this with TV shows in the past. We're going to create the all-time best Christmas movie tournament and go through 32 movies and whittle it all down to just one by the end of next week. So get your suggestions in on the YouTube stream.
And if you're not on the YouTubes, you will be able to get it in on our social medias after the show because we'll have a graphic. We got a few days to figure this out. And at some point, we're going to have a selection show.
Yes.
Which sounds like something I could have a great deal of fun with.
Yes, we could. Right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can get your suggestions in for the Christmas movie bracket.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Some delays. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway problem free. Hendersonville Road, no backup. Sweeten Creek Road southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road is slow. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The rumors are true. Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell for a limited time. So if you've been craving those golden fries with their Mexican spices and that warm nacho cheese sauce you dip them in, go to Taco Bell and order some today. Contact store for participation, which varies.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
At Target, make the holidays a breeze with same-day pickup and delivery. Order today and get it today by choosing free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery when you order on Target.com or through the Target app. This season, get festive faster and holiday the easy way with Target's same-day pickup and delivery. Choose free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery on everything you need for the holidays. Only at Target.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge rolls on. Make your picks by the Thursday night game at ESPNAVL.com. Weekly winners win a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and a register for the grand prize, a year's worth of golf for two at Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Yes, indeed it is. We're feeling festive in the Sportsocracy. Look, we've worked through a couple of Christmases together, and this is the first Christmas season that Jeremy has ever come in here actually playing Christmas music.
I'm very festive this year.
He is.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you about why, too. I really crushed it in the gift-giving department.
Oh.
This is the first time I've ever had my Christmas shopping done on December 14th. My wife is not the easiest person to shop for. I mean, you've seen her many times.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to try to buy that woman clothes?
No,
because she does that real good.
That's gift card territory.
Yeah, and I look like the Brawny Man if the Brawny Man was really poor. That's how I dress. So that's not really my wheelhouse. And I've hit every layer of jewelry that you could possibly ever think of. So I'm either going to double up or I'm out of the jewelry game for a while.
Right.
So I really did my homework, really trusted some people that are much smarter than me.
Good for you.
And I've crushed the gift giving thing.
So you're excited about the Christmas season because of the gifts that you bought. I like that. I like that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. She's the best gift giver on the planet Earth. Because she will buy me things that I don't even know that I want and that somehow I need, and I did not know that.
Right.
So I get great anxiety thinking about trying to match that. Well, this year I have.
Good for you.
So, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
I'm always in the mood. I'm always in the in the mood for Christmas. I just love the season. I love all the music. I love the movies. What?
Or Jerry in the comments said, "Can we put Creed in the Christmas movie bracket?"
I saw that. Jeremy might be mad if he can't get Creed put into the Christmas. If Creed had a Christmas video, he would want to put that in the Christmas movie category.
And if they had a Christmas song, I would play it every day.
That's awful.
Get Scott Stapp doing Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's something that the world does not need. We don't need Creed doing Christmas bangers.
Should have been snowed on a Christmas morning.
Oh, you can get your...
Somebody somewhere can make that happen. I'm going to need that to happen.
You can get your suggestions in for the Christmas movie tournament that we'll be playing out here on the Sportsocracy coming up next week. You can do that on the YouTube channel. We have we've been making our list, checking it twice, of all the Christmas movies that are being suggested, and then we'll have to have the selection show that will put all of the movies into the seating, and I got a feeling Die Hard is going to be very high on the seating list.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like that is the...
It's got to be the 2 seed that should have been a 1.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm okay with that.
Like you've got the overrated number 1 seed.
Elf.
Going up against, in the same bracket as the Die Hard. That is the top 2 seed.
I feel like the Elf supporters are going to be united against me.
Oh, 100%.
Which to me is an error in judgment. That movie is so awful.
Nope, it's not. It's not. You just You just don't have the whimsy.
No,
that you
I'm,
need to have
I'm
to
just
enjoy that
not
movie.
a fan of stupid, which is funny because I love stupid movies.
Exactly.
I just don't love that stupid movie.
That's what I was going to say. The ones you do like are all stupid. But what was it about Elf? Because there's no cussing in it? Because there's no drinking? Because there's no sex? Yeah, that's why you don't like Elf?
None of those things helped its cause.
Exactly.
Look, I have an ugly Christmas sweater that has Will Ferrell on it. So it's nothing with him.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We're playing the fun game of why will they, why won't they, with the contenders for the Super Bowl this year. Dallas Cowboys were the line for me, and then let's go Miami Dolphins. What's the path that the Miami Dolphins don't win a Super Bowl? Why?
You can't stop a good offense. Just flat out, you cannot stop a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike McDaniels. I think we saw against the Chargers this week. There are times, you have to remember this is a first-time head coach that did not have a ton of experience as a play caller. And I think you saw it this week. I feel like he's overthinking himself. And there are times that you just have to take the layup. Get the 4 yards, stay in front of the chains, let Tua do what he does.
That's a good reason why they won't. I think my chief reason is going to be Tua. I mean, Tua gets a playoff, he gets the playoff light shown upon him, and is he bad? Does he just crumble to the pressure? And if he's going to be ineffective or not as good as he has been in the regular season, I mean, that's the only way you get this done, right? The only way you could see Miami winning a Super Bowl, I guess this will tail into my reason why they will win a Super Bowl, just because you can physically outscore everyone. You have that potential week in and week out. I put you up against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, whatever. You have the potential to hit a few big ones in the game. 2 to Tyreek and 1 to Jalen Waddle. That's going to put away just about every team in the NFL.
The only problem is that when they get the ball back, you have to stop them.
Sure.
And the back half of that defense has been a train wreck.
It has. It's going to take some breaks for them to win a Super Bowl, but that's how you do it.
Well, if you get the offensive line healthy and you go into the playoffs healthy, you have legitimately the scariest combination of receivers of anybody in the league. The problem is that I cannot for the life of me figure out how you're going to go into Baltimore, into Cincinnati, into Kansas City, into Buffalo, and think you're going to play track meet football with a quarterback that's never been good in cold weather. Ever. Literally, you want to get a list of great games he's had in cold weather? You want to hear it again?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do something that I've never seen before, which it's hard for me to see out of this team.
Okay. After the Miami Dolphins gets a little bit more serious.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Wow, you've got them. Okay. We'll see where the rest of this list goes to see who you left out.
Oh, there's
to
only
get to
3
San Francisco this quick.
Well, there's only 3 more.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. So no Baltimore Ravens.
No.
No Detroit Lions.
No.
Sadly.
No, good Lord, no.
All right.
I mean, it's a fun story and all. And you make the playoffs, you beat somebody. I feel that way about the Chargers. I feel that way about the Jets.
Right.
Baltimore. When the rubber meets the road, yeah, I don't like your chances.
Right. Okay. San Francisco 49ers. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But first, it's time to get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, this one struck me as very, very weird because I did not know that in Japan, it's more common than you would probably think for people to, go out for a night on the town and then just wind up sleeping in the street. Now, I'm not talking about, we see that a lot here in America. We see people go out and you sleeping on the park benches or sleeping on the sidewalk or whatever. Jeremy's probably slept in a dumpster or two in his time.
I've slept some places that I shouldn't. You can infer from that what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm talking about in the road.
Yeah,
Apparently, people in Japan will get drunk going out to the clubs, and then they just sleep where they fall. And it's in the middle of the road. The number of deaths among people who sleep where they drop on Tokyo's roads has nearly doubled from last year. And they're tying this all to the reconvening. They're reconvening over in Japan after the COVID shutdowns and everything. People are getting more bold to get out and do stuff. 13 times this has happened in Tokyo. Now, I know Tokyo is it's a vastly different place than even our large cities here. So many people over there. But still, I feel like 13 times in 1 year is a lot for somebody to just, I'm gonna sleep right here and then just get run over. They are now on a public awareness campaign. In Tokyo, they have put up over 600,000 signs around the city telling people to stop just falling in the road and going to sleep. And it's not just Tokyo. Apparently, it happens in places like Okinawa. In 2020, police in Okinawa reported more than 7,000 cases of people sleeping in the road.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I mean, look, I love to go to bars, and sometimes you get sleepy. But I don't understand doing it in the middle of the road.
I don't either. They are trying to stop this from happening and telling everybody, stop just sleeping in the middle of the roadway because chances are you're going to get hit.
And Stephen Tao had a very basic question. What are you, a cop? My story starts very serious. And then it gets to a point of, this is the world we live in. My story is about a woman named, I lost her name, Ashley Esselborn. She is 21 years old. And she was arrested in Texas because she watched 3 men beat a man to death that they thought had stolen drugs and money from them. Well, in the state of Texas, if you are an accessory and you watch, apparently they charge you with first-degree murder. I did not know that. So she had her bail hearing. And she came into the Texas District Court where the judge was a man named Jeff McKnight. And she asked him a very simple question. Could you possibly lower my bond from $100,000 to $50,000? It's a request that I'm sure people make, and I'm sure they have their reasons for it. But Miss Esselborn had a specifically odd reason for asking that. Her reason was because she had at least $8,000 in her locked OnlyFans account, and that was how she was planning on paying her bond. Let me, if I may. So you committed a violent felony, and your rationale is, well, I could get out of jail now, which we don't want you to do, by the way, if you'll only but let me pay with the money that's in my OnlyFans account.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are at in the simulation. It can only go up from here. I hope.
I mean,
then again, I said that 3 years ago, and yet stories like this keep happening.
What are you going to do? It's the only cash she's got access to.
See, this is where I need to become the president of the United States of America. Because here's what your bail would be in my America. It's $1 billion. You must raise $1 billion. Well, that's not a real number. Well, where there's a will, there's a way.
So I'm thinking about like bonds and stuff. That's what, 10%?
10%, yes.
So you'd have to come up with what, $1 million?
Yeah, bingo.
I got to get $1 million to post bond. Nice.
See, that is the kind of originality that my America will reward.
Yeah.
Cousin Colin Greene had a comment that I can't read, but that's really funny.
I mean, what's she supposed to do?
Not kill people. How about that?
Well, I mean,
let's start it. This is not the segment where we say this, but let's start with don't do crimes.
I get it, but I mean, you find yourself in that situation, and you want me to pay you? I can pay you like this.
I'll pay my bond for killing a guy with OnlyFans money. This is why I couldn't be a judge, because they would have made that request and I went, "Oh, you want it lowered from 100,000 to 50,000? I'm raising it to $1 million." Oh, congratulations! Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
And then starts the GoFundMe account.
Oh, there's a GoFundMe coming here. I feel very sure of it.
Which she'd probably get it. Because people will apparently give money for anything these days.
Oh, I've seen some interesting ones. Look, I totally understand giving to people in need. I 100% get that. I saw somebody, and I'm not going to say who because this was in the city that we currently live in, that started a GoFundMe for a boob job. And people had donated to it. And I went, for why? For why have you done this?
So you can live your best life, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. Nobody ever comes knocking on my door going, "Hey, Jeremy, will you contribute money to?" Slammed. Because it's not going to be good. I know. There are certain people, when you ask me for money, I know this is not for a good cause. All right? You're not helping puppies. You're not helping the elderly. You're not helping children. You're doing something that is self-beneficial to you, and I don't care. I mean, I'm going to channel my inner Mike Leach here.
I mean, I don't care. There are ways I could see why people would give to a campaign like that. Like, I mean, if it's just a vanity thing, then that's one thing. But if it's
that's what this was.
Okay.
Yeah, this was 100%.
If this is like a cancer survivor to, regain her womanhood or something, like that would be an excuse. Like, yeah, I'll give you some shekels on that.
I would too. That's not what this was.
Gotcha.
This was,
I want to go to the bar. I want to get out of speeding tickets. Will you help me?
Also, yes, that's exactly what this was.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Why will they? Why won't they win the Super Bowl? We'll talk about the San Francisco 49ers next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And then the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 40 westbound near George's Branch Road, 40 westbound Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Accident reported on College Street near South Charlotte Street. Hendersonville Road northbound at Old Airport Road in the Oak Park area. Traffic is slowing. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road, some delays. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Friday Health Plans. Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance, with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com and see if you qualify for $10 insurance. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
Holiday shopping is exhausting. I hit like 30 stores already. You?
I went to Verizon.
Oh, and?
And that's it.
Seriously?
Seriously. I got the new iPhone 14 Pro on Verizon, plus more Apple gifts like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, also on Verizon. a value of up to $1,900.
Seriously?
Yeah, the iPhone 14 Pro is perfect for my teenager. Its new Pro camera system takes amazing pictures, even in low light. She's gonna love it.
So who gets the Apple gifts?
Oh, the Apple gifts? I'm keeping those for myself.
Kinda like a finder's fee?
More like a holiday miracle.
Seriously.
This holiday, get to your Verizon store for their best deal of the year. A service plan is required for gifts. 5G phone, up to $999.99 device payment purchase or full retail purchase with newer upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $1,000 trade-in promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for offer details. Up to $1,900 value based on iPhone, Apple Watch, iPad, and Beats.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Why will they, why won't they win a Super Bowl? The list of contenders in the NFL, true contenders, it's pretty small. Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, those are the super long shots. Then you got the San Francisco 49ers. While still a long shot with Brock Purdy at quarterback, still a legitimate shot to win it all.
Plus 900. Tied with the Dallas Cowboys according to FanDuel Sportsbook. Better shot than the Cincinnati Bengals, which I don't fully understand, but that's okay. How will they not win this? Brock Purdy was an illusion. How do they win this? Brock Purdy was not an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Greasy finds a way to get the intangibles and all of that out of this kid. And you have I was thinking about this in the car on the way here. Would that not be the most ironic thing you've ever seen? All these years, Tom Brady grew up the 49ers fan, blah, 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 blah. And then as he's riding off into the sunset, we see a modern Tom Brady story with Brock Purdy.
Yes.
On Tom Brady's childhood favorite team.
Yeah. It would be a fun thing to see. I mean, I don't think he's going to be – I mean, yes, in a roundabout way, he will be a reason they win it. But I don't think he's going to be the reason they win.
No,
like
the reason they could win that they could win it here is because they do something that none of these other teams do, and that is outside of Philadelphia, which is play defense at a really high level on all three levels.
Right. They can dominate you defensively. They can force turnovers like no other team. Brock Purdy can be the reason you lose the Super Bowl or lose in your playoff run. But as long as he can be Taylor Heineke level game manager-ish and maybe a little better.
And I think he has to be better than that. I think he has to be what he was against Tampa. Because some of those throws, we haven't given Brock Purdy the flowers he deserves. Some of those throws in the Tampa Bay game were high level.
Mm-hmm.
High level reads, high level eye discipline. A lot of things that I did not notice in the moment, but I did when I went back and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
The kid that I saw against Tampa Bay, you could win a Super Bowl with that. Now, this is a very small 6-quarter sample size, and I have been duped by quarterbacks before. Not to this level, because I actually think he can do this.
Oh, you think he can carry them to a title?
I do, and I'm going to say something, and it's not going to be popular, and that's fine. If you told me I had to wager on either Philadelphia or San Francisco, it would be San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little mixture of the odds, a big mixture of the coach. I believe more in Kyle Shanahan than I do in Nick Sirianni.
Okay.
I mean, look, he has definitely evolved. When we talk about Philadelphia, I have a little issue with Sirianni that it's sticking in my craw that I don't have with Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has had some historic failures in big moments. I still think he's probably the smartest coach in the NFL in terms of just strictly offense. I do think he's the smartest play caller in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And that can take you to a Super Bowl when you have a defense that's this good.
Right. I also feel like putting in my why they won't win it. It's a team that just they're snake bitten.
Well, they live killed.
They live injured. You got Deebo Samuel now. Are they talking he's going to come back for the playoffs?
Yes, he'll be back for the playoffs. It was not nearly as bad as originally feared.
Okay, so let's hope that can happen. Let's hope that he can be back for the playoffs and be 80%. I feel like that would be really helpful. Christian McCaffrey, you know all the skill position guys. You know what this team is really good at. Brock Purdy can be the reason that they lose it. The reason that they win it is going to be that defense. As long as I can get Brock Purdy and those playmakers to give me 23 points a game on average, I guess.
And I'm
just pulling that out of thin air.
And I would wager that's probably what Kyle Shanahan's harping on this week.
Right.
I don't need you to be Pat Mahomes. I need you to be what you just were.
Yes.
And the defense will take care of the rest.
Yes. Okay, after the San Francisco 49ers.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. And we all know why they'll win.
Pat Mahomes. Andy Reid.
End
of message.
Yep.
Repeat the line.
Travis Kelce.
My reason that they
we don't ever mention Travis Kelce, and he is obviously a huge part of it.
And he might be the biggest of those three reasons.
Right.
My reason that they won't is probably not what you think. They can outshoot damn near anybody. So I'm not so sure that the defense would be the impediment. At the end of the day, I look at Kansas City and go, if you find a team like Buffalo that I fully believe could – nobody's going to shut down Travis Kelce, but somebody that can limit him. What do you do now? Now you're counting on a lot of Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. It's a lot of dudes. Talented dudes, but just dudes. There's not a dog, there's not a guy in that. The other two teams ahead of you, they have the guy. You're not going to stop me. I do not care what you do. Can they limit that guy? Sure. But then there's another one on the other side. Kansas City doesn't have that. I do think this offense is running better in ways without Tyreek Hill. But the fact that you went Juju Smith-Schuster as that's the guy that I trust, that may come back to bite you.
It very well could. We've been worried about I don't guess worried is the right way to say it, but you have to bring this up. Every time you talk about Kansas City from the preseason up to now, you have to talk about the quote-unquote downgrade in the weapons. It's clear that on paper that's where they're at.
This is what I can't get away from because I've seen this guy do this enough times. Would it shock you in an AFC championship game either against the Bills or the Bengals that Marquez Valdez-Scantling gets behind the defense, Pat Mahomes makes a beautiful in-the-pocket throw, and Scantling drops it?
No.
That's my problem. Because I feel like you're going to have somebody that can beat you on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce's great. The greatest tight end, in my opinion, in NFL history. But I still need that guy. I need that guy where time is chugging down, and I got somebody that can beat you over the top. which thins out your defense and makes everything else work.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be shocked if you did everything right until the last 5% and the ball hits the turf and you go home to one of those two.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound very busy between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville. Via 40 westbound and 240 westbound, drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Friday Health Plans. Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance, with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com and see if you qualify for $10 insurance. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. It looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge rolls on. Make your picks by the Thursday night game at ESPNAVL.com. Weekly winners win a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and a register for the grand prize, a year's worth of golf for two at Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Ingles Advantage isn't just about savings or the best quality food for your family. It's more than that. It's the advantage of being a part of a community. That's why we provide over 2 million pounds of food every year through regular donations and programs like the Ingles Giving Tree, Food for Thought, and the Ingles Fill a Backpack program. It's the right thing to do, and we know that you would do the same. Ingles, your neighbor for over 50 years.
It's ESPN Asheville in the Ingles Studio. We are the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Why will they, why won't they win a Super Bowl? Next on the list has to be...
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Like the Buffalo Bills.
The reason they will is very simple.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. And the reason they won't is very simple. Josh Allen. Look,
Okay.
the injuries, everybody has injuries. Okay, so you're missing Von Miller. Cry me a river that you went from Von Miller to Greg Rousseau.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll be fine there. Secondary's been hurt. I get that. By the time the playoffs roll around, you're going to be fine.
You hope.
I think, yes. The thing I come back to with Buffalo is Josh Allen is the most talented player in the NFL to me. He's also very loosey-goosey with football.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into these track meet games like you're going to get into with Kansas City and like you're going to get into with Cincinnati. You can't do that because Pat Mahomes is not going to do that. Joe Burrow's not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, turnovers is the one thing that can beat Buffalo, and I've now seen it happen more than once.
Yes.
And I've seen it make them look less than what I think they are.
Okay. Turnovers definitely a key. So to be different here, I'm going to go with that secondary. That's the reason you won't win a Super Bowl. Is because you're going to have to take down the Kansas City Chiefs. You're going to have to take down the Cincinnati Bengals. You're going to have to find a way to limit A.J. Brown if you get to the Super Bowl. A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, whoever ends up from the NFC, you're going to have a team with a star wide receiver on it that's tough to defend, and you're going to have to figure out a way to do that. Hopefully all your guys come back and they're lickety-split, ready to go when they come back from injury. But you give up a lot in the secondary, and that's the path for you losing. Now, I will agree with you on Josh Allen's way you'll win, but it's also Stephon Diggs because he a dog.
Yes. As is Gabriel Davis.
Yes.
I do love that Cole Beasley couldn't get out of Buffalo quick enough until he played with Tom Brady for an hour, and he went, Can I come back now?
He gave it up and went, hey, y'all need somebody to go over the middle for a playoff run? I'll do that. That's got to be a great life.
I'm going to disagree.
I
don't want to go over the middle in the NFL at all.
No. What I'm saying is to be able to go to a team, sign a contract, go, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that. And then I'm not going to say he was just sitting on the couch for the last 16 weeks or whatever it's been. But you're just kind of hanging out, and then things get real in the playoff hunt, and you go, okay, I'm in. And Buffalo welcomes you back into the fold. And you got a chance to win a ring. Not a lot of players find themselves in that scenario.
And then your final contender is the Cincinnati Bengals.
No Philadelphia? We didn't.
Oh, I forgot about Philadelphia.
We left out Philadelphia.
And I look at those two. The exact opposite way. Philadelphia, your path to righteousness is your defense.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that could hold you back is your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have seen him if you don't believe me, go back and watch them against Tampa Bay last year in the playoffs. I haven't unseen that.
Yeah, but Jalen has taken a lot of steps forward this year, right?
I don't disagree with that. I'm going to need to see you do it in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson's taken a lot of steps forward. I have never really seen him do it in the playoffs.
Okay.
There have been a slew of quarterbacks, Dan Fouts, Dan Marino, off the top of my head. They were two of the greatest they ever played.
Mm-hmm.
They never did it well in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There is a thing about that. Your defense would be why you win it. Your quarterback would be why you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, I'm doing the exact same thing in reverse. Your quarterback would be why you would win it, and your defense would be why you don't.
Yes.
The defense has been great. I think Lou Anarumo has done a great job of that defense. Do you have the corner that's going to stop that guy?
No.
Whether it's A.J. Brown, whether it's Stephon Diggs, do you have the guy that can stop the guy?
I don't feel like they do.
I don't either, but I've said that before. I said that last year, and they did.
You're in the Sportsocracy. Here on ESPN Asheville SportsCenter update coming up in just a few seconds. After the SportsCenter update, we will have a daily draft, and since we're talking Christmas movies, we might as well just do our top 10 Christmas movies. 5 from me, 5 from Jeremy. They'll automatically be put into next week's tournament that will play out right here in the Ingles Studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And then the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound very busy between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We are a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news: Mississippi State is hiring defensive coordinator Zach Arnett as its next head football coach. The decision comes in the wake of Mike Leach's death earlier this week. As the Jets prepare for quarterback Mike White to start Sunday versus the Lions, Coach Robert Saleh announced Zach Wilson will be the backup QB. Wilson was benched after struggling badly in the Week 11 loss. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa said he's not overly concerned about what the weather might be in Buffalo Saturday night when they visit the Bills. The forecast calling for an 80% chance of snow, a game time temp of 25 degrees as Miami looks to bounce back after back-to-back losses. A couple of reasons behind the Dolphins' mini slide, points out ESPN's Dominique Foxworth.
Part of the problem in the last couple of weeks is the defenses they played against have played better, but Tua also has been antsy in the pocket, and I think that speaks to him being kind of an operator of a machine, and when that machine goes a little off kilter, then he doesn't exactly know what to do, and they can't have success, which is kind of been the issue with them so far.
The Cardinals put quarterback Kyler Murray on injured reserve. He'll have surgery on his torn ACL after Christmas.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
Useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You are in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and you can see us on any device as long as you got YouTube. Which I think that's automatic, right? And they don't give out devices that don't have YouTube, right?
I mean, a flip phone. If you have a flip phone, you may not have YouTube.
I don't feel like there's too many of those still roaming around out there, but you may.
I asked somebody that dealt with enough Verizon things in my life, you'd be surprised.
All right. So, you can get us on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel while you're there, and you will get the alerts whenever we are live here in the Ingles studio. And, of course, you will get into the chat, more importantly. And today we've been asking the members of the House of Reprehensibles and all of our wonderful listeners to put in their choices for best Christmas movies. What needs to be in, say, I don't know, some kind of a Merry Madness type tournament.
Yep, that's what that's called.
I don't. I mean, are we able to use that? Does the NCAA have the trademark on the word madness?
I don't think you can trademark one word.
Ohio State University would beg to differ.
Yeah,
So maybe, I don't know. We're not selling it to a sponsor, so I don't think we're going to worry about naming the contest here. The Merry Madness bracket of the best Christmas movies of all time. We will have 32 to start out, and then we will whittle it down over the course of next week leading up to the big show on Friday, and we will name the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Of course, this is going to be based on your votes in the Sportsocracy, on the YouTube stream, on the social medias. We're going to put it all together in one big thing, and we will decide it. But, like every good tournament, there are automatic bids. And there are going to be 10 automatic bids into this tournament, which will be the selections that Jeremy and I make on today's daily draft.
And now I am going to make a board wager with the chat. How many of Tank's selections do I value to be absolutely unwatchable nonsense?
Over-unders 2.5.
Over. I will bet $1 to a donut I know what 2 of yours are, and they are absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also some strategy to this because I have not been able to. You guys know how I am with the when I'm hosting the show. It's hard for me sometimes to keep up with the with the chat and see everything. So some of them I'm not gonna, because I know you're gonna get in anyway. So some of the choices could be lesser known movies.
Oh no! Oh, I already hate
get
how
automatic
you're doing this.
bids into the tournament.
But see, I thought this was the 10 best Christmas movies. Period. Thought that's how we were doing this.
I mean, it's subjective. It's completely subjective.
Oh.
And
good Lord, you're gonna throw out something awful.
You think so?
100%. Make your first pick so I can throw my derision at it.
Well, if you throw derision at the greatest Christmas movie of all time, I'm gonna need to know why. It's a Wonderful Life is the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
All right. You're 1 for 1 because I can say absolutely
Jimmy
nothing
Stewart,
about that.
Donna Reed. It's one of the greatest stories ever told, and you can. I mean, because of modern technology, you don't have to watch it in black and white. Although that is the best version, you can also watch it in color.
What damn! And that's the only line I could do. It's the only line I actually remember.
That sounds like a Christmas Carol. I think you're mixing up your movies here.
You always say that, but I don't think that I am.
I don't think he ever asked what day it was. He
I'm
knows
pretty sure
what day
it
it is.
I'm going to watch. You know what? I'm watching this
My
movie.
mouth's bleeding, Bert. My mouth's bleeding.
Yeah, now
That's the one.
Yeah, I know what movie it is. I've seen it plenty of times. I'm also usually my Christmas cheer has usually shown because I usually watch this on Christmas night.
I'm sad because I'm behind on my usual quota for this year. I have only seen it 3 times already.
You've watched that movie 3 times this year?
Well, I mean, not all the way through. I mean, because, I am getting older, and once I hit 40, that means I can no longer make it through an entire movie. So I've watched it 3 times, but probably altogether I've only seen it 1 complete time. Just keep picking it up in the same spot I fall asleep in over and over and over again.
It's a formidable pick.
Yeah.
That was good strategy because that's one I would have actually taken. I'm not going to lie. I'm using a little bit of strategy here.
Okay.
But not a ton because there's only a handful that I like. And one of them is very, very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Good for you.
That is a fantastic movie. I actually watched that one again the other night after the disaster that was Krampus.
I have not yet seen that one all the way through this season.
Krampus?
No.
Oh,
Christmas Vacation.
I have. Yeah, that is a phenomenal movie.
Absolutely.
Chevy
Chase's best role by far.
I also realized that Chevy Chase looks exactly like someone we know, and now I cannot unsee it. I'll tell you in the break.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you, once you see it, you'll never unsee it.
Okay.
It's just a phenomenal movie. It's got everything. It's funny. At the end, it has the warm, fuzzy, it hits all the boxes. It's just as good as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
There is no better Christmas movie to me than National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Now, the second one's a little harder because there's one that I'm not going to not have, and I don't think you would take it.
Okay.
But if you did, I would be very angry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one that I know definitively you'll take, and I'll never get it back. You know what? I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk that you burn me, and I'm taking Bad Santa.
Okay.
Because I know you're not taking that.
Mm-hmm.
I at least don't think you are.
No.
You might just to burn me.
No.
That wouldn't have been in your top 10.
Wouldn't have been in the top 10.
That's a little surprising.
Probably wouldn't even be in my top 20.
That's a little surprising to me.
I just wasn't a fan. I mean, I get it. It's funny. It's a funny, gross Billy Bob Thornton comedy. I get it. It's not one of those, like, that I'm just rushing out to see.
That's another one that I will watch before the holiday season is over.
Sure. Tickles your funny bone? I get it.
That also more fits my personality than it does yours.
Absolutely. You're all about the really crass humor, the blue humor.
The blue humor?
Yeah, you're all about that.
I've never heard that term before.
How are you a comedian and you've never heard the term blue for racy content?
I've never heard that before. I mean, I've heard a couple terms for that I can't say on the show.
Okay. Well, there you have it. All right. So your picks are Christmas Vacation and Bad Santa.
Correct.
I feel like you erred there because Die Hard needs to be the next one.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
I didn't think you would take it. That was the one I was talking about.
Look, I have long been on the side of Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Jeremy, you and I went round and round and round about this.
And that's why I didn't think you were going to take it.
And I know. But here's the thing. At some point, you have to stop fighting the public narrative. At some point, you have to realize, I may be wrong about this. And the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I think, I really don't think there's a Christmas season that hasn't passed where I haven't watched Die Hard. And I haven't just wanted that moment, because you get sick and tired of over and over and over the lovey-dovey, feel-good Santa Claus stories.
Oh, yeah.
Angels and all that. I mean, sometimes you just want to watch Bruce Willis just light up some Russian terrorists.
I am now having this fight with HWA because she is firmly of the belief that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I get it. I used to be on her side. But I can no longer be there.
She thinks I am all by myself and that nobody believes this but me.
No, I always felt like I was by myself in saying that it wasn't a Christmas movie. But just because the movie doesn't give you those warm and fuzzies inside, kids getting, sugar plums dancing in their heads and all that kind of stuff, doesn't mean it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
The staple of the season.
That makes me so sad. I didn't think you were going to do that. I didn't think you had come around enough to take it this early.
Yeah. Well, see, that's part of that was part of the strategy.
I had already written it down for myself.
Yeah. I knew that if you didn't take Die Hard in those first two, I had to take it. Because now that gives me the action and the lovey-dovey number ones on my list.
Man, I hate losing. And I feel like I'm in trouble.
I feel like we've aired.
I feel like I'm in trouble.
Feel like you've aired on. Look, don't get me wrong, or don't get ahead of yourself, because I can screw up a draft like nobody's business. You are chief witness to this many, many times.
Yes, once traded Christian McCaffrey for A.J. Green.
I did do that.
You did.
I did do that.
Yeah, trust me, I tried to veto it, and nobody was hearing it. So.
Well, I appreciate you trying to look out for me.
I wasn't so much looking out for you as I was the best team in that league at the time, and you stacked the deck against me.
All right, next pick. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna go off the wall here. I know it's not even on your list, but I'm afraid that if I don't give it an automatic bid, nobody's ever gonna bring it up because it's one of those movies that you may have saw it a couple of times, but it's not really a traditional gotta have it holiday movie.
Here's his Gonzaga. They won the West Coast Conference.
Hey, and these automatic bids, I mean, this is a final, or this is a first 14. This is like last automatic bid, whatever.
If you say Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas,
it's not Emmett Otter's Jug Band
angry.
Christmas. It's not Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It's way too early in the draft to take that one.
I'm glad to hear you say that. That gives me a little hope for what this is going to be.
It's The Ref.
The what?
The Ref. The movie is called The Ref. And if you haven't seen it, Jeremy, I don't know how I haven't made you watch this yet. It stars Dennis Leary.
That's a good start.
And Kevin Spacey.
That's not as good a start.
Dennis Leary is he's a thief, and he breaks into these people's house, or he's running from the cops and breaks into these people's house to hide from the cops. Meanwhile, they've got all their family drama going on around the Christmas holiday. Angry mother-in-law comes in, and they're fighting back and forth. And meanwhile, you've got Dennis Leary over here going, I'm the guy with the gun. Stop fighting with each other. It's hilarious. It's Dennis Leary in his greatest movie glory. And it needs to be in this tournament because it is one of the undersold Christmas comedies out there.
That is you were strategering,
yes,
quite well until you took a movie that I'd never heard of until 2 minutes ago. I have to regroup.
Mm-hmm.
You completely,
I completely threw you off with that one.
Completely broke my strategy taking Die Hard. We have to take a break. After the break, I will have my last two picks, or two of my last picks.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have our 10 automatic entrants into the Christmas movie draft.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and it is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound crawling between Long Shoals Road to approaching Brevard Road. Due to an accident at mile marker 34, the left lane blocked. 26 eastbound is stop and go between I-40 and the French Broad River. Haywood County 40 westbound is crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The rumors are true. Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell for a limited time. So if you've been craving those golden fries with their Mexican spices and that warm nacho cheese sauce you dip them in, go to Taco Bell and order some today. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Holiday shopping is exhausting. I hit like 30 stores already. You?
I went to Verizon.
Oh, and?
And that's it.
Seriously?
Seriously. I got the new iPhone 14 Pro on Verizon, plus more Apple gifts like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, also on Verizon. A value of up to $1,900.
Seriously?
Yeah, the iPhone 14 Pro is perfect for my teenager. Its new Pro camera system takes amazing pictures, even in low light. She's gonna love it.
So who gets the Apple gifts?
Oh, the Apple gifts? I'm keeping those for myself.
Kinda like a finder's fee?
More like a holiday miracle.
Seriously.
This holiday, get to your Verizon store for their best deal of the year. A service plan is required for gifts. 5G phone, up to $999.99 device payment purchase or full retail purchase with newer upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $1,000 trade-in promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for offer details. Up to $1,900 value based on iPhone, Apple Watch, iPad, and Beats.
Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
The Ingles Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at Asheville outlets as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingles locations. Donate online or at the Ingles Giving Tree at Asheville outlets so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingles Markets, iHeartRadio, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this season.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
As you know, in the Sportsocracy, we love our rankings. We do Power Rankings Tuesdays, and we do quarterback rankings, and we do all position rankings for the NFL Draft, and all of that's going to begin after the Christmas season as Jeremy gets ramped up for the 2023 NFL Draft in April.
Oh, just wait.
But we also love doing the rankings of other things. And so we're going to have a little tournament here next week. If you're just joining us here in the Sportsocracy, welcome into the program. And next week we'll be doing the tournament. The, what did I call it?
Merry Madness.
Merry Madness. The Merry Madness tournament that will decide the greatest Christmas movie of all time. We'll put it out on the social medias. We'll let it, right now you can go to the YouTube channel, you subscribe to the channel, put in the chat your nominations for the tournament. We'll have a selection show and all that kind of good stuff as we lay out the bracket of the 32 movies that will be considered for the Merry Madness tournament. Today's daily draft, it's automatic bids into the tournament. Number one pick I went with It's a Wonderful Life. Jeremy goes Christmas Vacation and Bad Santa with his two choices by the snake format of the draft.
My second choice was an error in judgment because I didn't think he would take the movie that I didn't think he considered a Christmas movie.
On the on the comeback, I got Die Hard. And then I took a movie that is a little off base here, but it needs an automatic bid into the tournament. In my opinion, it's The Ref, starring Dennis Leary and Kevin Spacey. I can't remember the female lead's name in that, or I would throw that out there. But, Jeremy, it's your turn.
All right, I've regrouped, and I think I have two formidable choices.
Okay.
My first one is a movie that I really did not want to like. I don't like older movies, and I never saw this when I was a kid.
Okay.
It's Home Alone. It's Home Alone.
I love it. I don't like older movies. Here's one from the 90s for all you old geezers who watched it as a kid.
It's from 1992. Sorry, I'm not taking Miracle on 34th Street from 1917. I'm just not going to do that.
It's like I got into a discussion with a young whippersnapper the other day that came back at me with, yeah, but you were born in the 1900s. And I went, okay, that's a low blow that you are not allowed to take.
Yeah, that's not a low blow.
It is a low blow.
Here's the thing, Junior. 85% of us were born in the 1900s. You were born in the time when everyone got offended by everything. You don't remember what it was like to have an opinion. that should have been how you came back at that.
Right.
And then
make me feel old.
If they still had a smart aleck comment, just hide their cell phone. Their brain will break. They won't know how to start their car. They won't know how to get out of the building they're in.
All right, so the original Home Alone. Because we're not lumping all of these into each other.
No, that's the original Home Alone.
The original Home Alone.
And then you said you were implementing a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's part of me that's implementing a strategy here because I'm going to make sure this makes it, and I think it's going to make it further than it should, in spite of the fact people like you say it's not a Christmas movie. And that is the greatest of all the Batman movies. It's Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman and Christopher Walken as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Batman Returns, it's a Christmas movie.
I'm surprised that you like that movie as much with all the clowns in it.
I just put that out of my own head because I don't love that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't love that. I've also always laughed at the fact that I have, a Batman tattoo and all of these things, and nobody ever realizes that, wait a minute, you don't like birds. No, sir. No, sir, I don't. But they are rats with wings, and that is different. Don't ask me how. It makes sense in my own head.
But that's why it fits. That's why it fits you, because that's your greatest fear. Just
Correct.
like Bruce Wayne.
Correct.
His greatest fear was bats. Or at least that's what the Riddler taught us in Batman Forever.
Correct. I feel like that's a strong comeback by me.
That is.
Thank you in the comments, Frankie Cleary, for saying that exact same thing. I thought so myself.
It's a very good one. Very good. And, I did leave the door open for you.
You did.
With my third selection. Man.
Now, here's the thing. If you do this the right way, there's a possibility that I'm going to have to go pass because I'm not sure that there are two more movies that I really like.
Well, here's the thing. You and I have very different tastes in movies.
Correct.
And so I'm going to be honest with you. My whole blue comedy movie, it was The Ref. That was the one. I got an action movie with Die Hard. I got the racy comedy movie with The Ref. I have the standard at the top with It's a Wonderful Life. But I am a creature of habit.
Now, I will, before you make these two selections, I'm going to caution you of something. I am the one that will be putting this bracket together.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple movies that if I can find a way to leave them out, I'm gonna.
You can't, though, because name's on the door, and I'm giving them an automatic bid.
That's all I was trying to tell you.
As long
if you want them in here, you better do it right now.
They might wind up as a 16 seed in the reseeding. I don't care. But I have two selections to make here. And I know I was trying to do this thing where, you have some Christmas movies that didn't get mentioned, and I know they're going to have support, but it just doesn't. A top 5 list doesn't feel right without some movies. And mine's Miracle on 34th Street. It's a great movie that you can watch at Thanksgiving and at Christmas. It's a whole Christmas season movie.
I was never taking that.
I know you weren't, because it's a feel-good movie, and you don't like feel-good movies.
It's also not the one that I was warning you. You better take it, or I'm going to do everything in my power to leave it off.
Well, you can't. You can't leave it off because it's getting an automatic bid. And it's Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Yes.
Ugh. How? Stephen Towns trying to veto 2 of your selections.
He can't. Name's on the door. Automatic bids.
Oh, I don't even know how to spell that.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It's one of my favorites growing up.
Can anybody in the comments, show of hands, have you even heard of this movie?
Of course they have. If you were raised in the South, you know what Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is. The Jim Henson puppet show from the 1970s. And it was about little Emmett Otter and his ma trying to compete in the Christmas holiday talent show to win some money so they could buy each other presents because they're poor. It's a great movie. You got to be a kid to enjoy it. You had to have seen it as a kid to enjoy it, or do a lot of drugs as an adult to enjoy it.
I am dumbfounded that you somehow found a way to describe a movie with 7 sets of words that I just went, nope, no, sir,
nope.
Don't like it. Otters, puppets, the 70s. That alone is enough for me to go, Seacrest out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should be able to veto one, but I don't want any of mine vetoed.
I was getting ready to say.
All right, that makes this pretty easy because you didn't take mine. Has my favorite actor in it, and like you said, name's on the door. It's the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
The Santa Claus, okay.
It's a fantastic movie, and one of the only movies I saw in a theater before I was old enough to drink. That list is like 6 deep.
Yeah, we know.
I did.
I
saw that as a child. I didn't have a hard childhood. You make it sound like I grew up in Guantanamo Bay or something.
I think you might have.
I didn't like the same ridiculous things that other people did.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's go to the movies and sit quietly for 2 hours. And you have to step on a sticky floor and go to a bathroom that's got 4,000 people in it.
All right, so
that's pleasant to me.
Those are your automatic bids into the Merry Madness tournament that will start on Monday. It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, Bad Santa, The Ref, Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, Batman Returns, Emmett Otter's Drug Ban Christmas, and The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen. Those are your 10 automatic bids. There will be 22 at-larges, and you can get your suggestions in now on the YouTube stream.
And on the social medias after the show.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And in the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound crawling between Long Shoals Road to approaching Brevard Road. Due to an accident at mile marker 34, the left lane blocked. 26 eastbound is stop and go between I-40 and the French Broad River. Haywood County 40 westbound is crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Phil with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Some banks can make it complicated to redeem credit card rewards. But with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? And if you drive while you're high, law enforcement can definitely tell. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
In the past year, I've lost more than 90 pounds with the PhD weight loss program. PhD has helped me learn healthy nutrition. They've helped me learn a better way to live, how to get more sleep, how to get more active, and obviously how to put only the good things into my body. I never thought there would be a program out there that could give me the kind of results that I have seen with Dr. Ashley Lucas in this program.
I did not have a ton of weight to lose. I had just gotten very lazy in my food choices, and I got a little, say, chunky. In just under a year on PhD, I have gone from one of the highest weights I've ever seen back to my high school weight, and I've slid all the way into a brand new wardrobe thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
And if you're like me and you struggle sometimes to find motivation, that's why they have a group of dedicated health coaches that will not only help you out with the problems that you're having, but they will help keep you motivated throughout the process. It's myphdweightloss.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Back in the Sportsocracy in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
Yep, not a good idea, and it's, especially not a good idea to do. Well, I mean, is this really a crime? Maybe there's not a law against it, but it's frowned upon, and it involves the law. As a Los Angeles sheriff's deputy, fresh on the job, is now in trouble and very well could lose her position because she was caught doing some things, some
nefarious
adult times.
things.
The adult times were had, and apparently while she was on the clock and also while she was on county property. Not a good idea. The way the story is being reported is that the Los Angeles Sheriff's deputy in question is under investigation after she took a break, went out to the parking deck that's outside of the police station, and was engaged in adult activities. As TMZ reports it here, some of the quote-unquote nitty-gritty. Things got interesting while on the clock. How they found out about it is the funniest part of the story, though, to me, because it was caught on a live mic. She had, of course, the microphone, the little walkie-talkie on, and the button was held down or it got switched on somehow, and they heard everything.
Oh.
Now, the question is, and part of the investigation is, who was she with? Was she with another sheriff's deputy? Don't know. Was this just like, hey, somebody came to bring me my lunch? Yeah, she's going to be in trouble, obviously, and this is not the first time this has ever happened. 2 years ago, there was another L.A. sheriff's deputy, a man in this scenario, who was caught doing the exact same thing in the same way at Universal Studios in the parking lot of the Bates Motel.
Oh.
I feel like this is something they probably tell you in training. Somehow that story comes up. Watch what you say on the mic or make sure that... Yeah.
Sounds like somebody watched too many movies. Much like the guy involved in my story. His name's Michael Perry. He's 37 years old, and he lived in Boston, Massachusetts. We don't know exactly what happened here, but today was his arraignment, and so we've gotten some further details. He lived on the 12th floor in the south end of Boston, and apparently he lived with a woman. We do not know who this woman is. She is not named in the story. Well, the people around his apartment complex called in a wellness check because she had not been seen for a few days. So police show up, and unfortunately they find the woman deceased in the living room. Well, as they're clearing the house, they realize that they are not alone. There's someone else in this house, and it is Michael Perry, 37, of the south end of Boston.
Oh, wow.
And he has a butcher knife in his hand, and he is swinging it at police officers. What they didn't notice is that he had a bed sheet tied to his foot because he's seen Die Hard one too many times and thought he was going to dive out the window to safety.
On the 12th floor.
Out of the 12th floor with a bed sheet. Well, he might have, he underestimated one thing. A bed sheet's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
So what actually happened is that he assaulted a police officer with a butcher knife, swung it at them, then dove out the window, and they went down to the 11th story and retrieved him because he was dangling from the window.
Just dangling.
That is the definition of a stupid criminal. And I would personally have loved to have seen the look on his face when he went, the movies don't tell you that's how this goes. I just say he's going full Bruce Willis. Yippee-ki-yay! Oh, I didn't go as far as I wanted.
Yeah, I don't know how you get there. How do you?
It'll help.
I mean, like even in the worst movies, it's always a train of bed sheets.
Yes, he did. From the picture, it does not appear that he had a train of bed sheets. It appears that he had one that was wrapped around his foot.
I want to know more. I want to know more because you said the wellness check was done after days. So did he kill this woman and then just hung out in the house for days, or?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, actually.
There's got to be more.
From the story, it does appear that he lived in this house or in this apartment. And so what I'm thinking is that the cops showed up, he was in the room and went, uh-oh, I got to get out of here. And he came up with what can best be described as a harebrained idea.
Well, I mean, clearly, I would think, clearly guilty.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't think you can get away with the, I just showed up and she was already dead defense.
Diving out the window kind of complicates that.
Yeah, but threatening police officers with a knife before you do it.
Oh, trust me, he was charged with all the things.
I'm sure he was. I'm just saying, that in and of itself is an admission of guilt.
Correct.
Jeremy admits that, he doesn't love movies as much as, say some people like me. I'm all about movies. And I absolutely love Christmas movies. But we have to force Jeremy each and every year to watch Christmas movies. And he saw another one. And my computer's not working. I've been trying to tap dance until the file will load, but it's not loading. So it's time to hear Jeremy's latest Christmas movie review.
It's of Krampus. Which, if you don't know what Krampus is, it's a European legend of a half-goat, half-demon that deals with children that are bad on Christmas, which personally sounded like it would be right up my alley.
Uh-huh.
Well, this movie is about a boy who was bad on Christmas and accidentally summons said Krampus to his neighborhood. The only problem is that none of this movie makes even the vaguest bit of sense. None of it! They're sitting in the house. So this is like a family gathering. The housekeeper from 2.5 Men is involved in this.
Yes.
Adam Scott is in this. And David Kochner is involved in this. That's the only 3 people that you will have ever heard of in your life. And they spend their time trying to figure out what's happening because the little boy rips up his Christmas list in anger and throws it out the window, and it summons the half-goat, half-demon. And then it starts randomly snowing like 14 feet, and nobody goes, that's weird. And then they send their daughter out into that storm, and she doesn't come back for hours, and nobody at any point goes, that's weird. I wonder where little Becky Sue went. You know who should be called here? It's not Krampus, it's DSS, because you people are very bad at watching your children. This movie was horrible.
Yeah,
genuinely god-awful. And the fact that people keep putting this on best Christmas list, what is wrong with you people?
I don't know.
I mean, it would be one thing. The premise, I'm all in. That sounds like a perfect me kind of Christmas movie.
But I also feel like it has to be something more. Like if you've got this impish creature that shows up to what is the goal here? Is like does he leave you cold or does he kill you?
It's more the latter, but I was
Okay,
going to refrain from saying that.
Well, I'm just trying to figure it out because I really don't care about the legend, whatever it is.
Yeah,
like
this is an old European legend.
Right. Okay, so yeah, people always die in European legends. If
Correct.
you don't believe me, go read the original Little Mermaid.
Google it. This was it wasn't elf bad.
Right.
It wasn't a Christmas story bad. It was bad. So on the Jeremy scale, we gave Daddy's Home 2 domestic lights.
Yes.
We gave A Christmas Story Christmas 2 domestic lights. I'm going to say Krampus gets 19 domestic lights.
19?
That is how many it would take for me to watch this movie again.
It would take way more than that and something way stronger than a domestic light to get me to try to watch that again. Because I did. I sat down and tried to watch it last night.
See, your scale and my scale don't work.
Why?
Because if you drank 19 domestic lights, Krampus would be the least of your problems. You would be in an iron lung somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Now, me, I'd be making fun of this movie. And I'd watch it again, and I would recruit people from wherever I drank the domestic lights to go, hey, come watch how bad a movie can be. This is awful.
And then you're going to get that one person, apparently Jason Trump, in our YouTube comments. I think he's thrown that movie out like 3 times. Apparently he likes it.
Bad.
And Jason, we're going to need you to show your work on that one. Explain to us what is it about this god-awful dragging on storyline that has only B actors in it.
And look, the storyline itself, I could have been perfectly fine with. But you did it not goodly. Like, it was just awful.
Like your English skills, right?
I did that on
Not
purpose.
Goodly.
Yeah, and when you got the jerky boy from Step Brothers, that's your A-lister here.
That is
out. Seacrest out.
Right. Plus, I can't stand the mom. What's her name? Toni Collette, I think is her name.
Toni Collette.
I cannot stand her. There's just something about her that I do not like.
I'd never seen that person before. I have no idea who the person was. The only reason I knew you got the name right is because it's on my screen.
She was the mom in Sixth Sense.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen Sixth Sense.
For reals?
It blows my mind that this many years doing this with you, it still shocks you when I haven't seen movies.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, I do that when they're really good ones.
Well, here's the thing. That movie was really popular, and everybody loves saying, but they've been dead the whole time. Spoilers, sorry, the movie's 24 years old. So if you haven't seen it, apologies. I think a quarter of a century is where, no spoilers. And I had about 10 people do that to me.
Right.
And I went, oh, great. So I don't have to waste my time watching this. Awesome.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's got Bruce Willis in it.
Okay.
Well,
Desperate Housewives had Eva Longoria in it. Doesn't mean I watched that either.
You watched more of it than you wanted to.
I watched more of that than I watched of The Sixth Sense. That is correct.
All right. So the NFL could be talking about a rule change coming up in this offseason. Troy Vincent, NFL executive, says that they're going to talk in the offseason about replay for basically targeting calls.
On roughing the passer.
For the roughing the passer penalties.
Yeah, this is not going to be on targeting. So don't confound that. This will only be on roughing the passer. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Because there was one in your game with the Atlanta Falcons that was as bad as I've ever seen.
Yes.
There was one against the Miami Dolphins this weekend that was as bad as I've ever seen. I'm in favor of it. The only thing that scares me is virtually every time we start reviewing these things, they start getting called more. And then we just, we'll go to the video, and if we're wrong, we'll fix it.
That's what I don't like about it.
That part scares me. But there needs to be. I like the field judge, the thing we're doing now of when it's obvious, just buzz down and tell the official. Do that. Do more of that. Where it's so obvious and you just buzz down, it takes 25 seconds and we're moving on.
But I don't feel like those happen as much as they should.
They happen on scoring plays all the time. They happen on turnovers all the time. And we need to do more of that. That's not the part of this that scares me.
I still find myself every game going, good God, what's taking so long? Why do we have to have a 3-minute breakdown or break in the action so you can figure out something that we all watched and went, oh, yeah, it should go this way?
This is why you need the field judge. The XFL taught us one thing, is that there's an eye in the sky that has where the ball is placed. They radio down. They say, this is the way it is. Let's go. And I feel like every passing year we're getting closer to that. That is not the part of the story that makes me real nervous. The part that makes me real nervous is we're talking about automatic ejections. Stop that. That is the stupidest. We do it in college football, and I got news for you. It's stupid. It's always been stupid.
Agreed. That's why I said that the way I did, because they're talking about ejecting players just like they do for targeting.
And that's dumb.
And it's basically the same rules.
And it's dumb. I got news for you. College football, they struggle with decisions like this. The NFL does not. Nobody pays their doll hairs to watch the backup because the starter got ejected for hitting the quarterback when his job is hitting the quarterback. My hope is that this was floated out there so you could see the response. And if you go to Twitter, 95% of people are on my side on this. We do not want to see players ejected. Okay, we understand player safety. We understand health and wellness. We get all that. Nobody wants to see players ejected for this. We don't want to see it in college football, we surely don't want to see it in the NFL. Where you have smaller rosters, this can be a huge problem. Don't make a problem where there's not one. The NFL does it. They'll float this every once in a while of an idea where they try to make a problem where there's not one. 99 times out of 100, they go, heard you, and unwind it. But now the replay on it, I could be okay with that. I don't think it can go any worse than defensive pass interference went.
Right. I think coaches' challenges. Coaches' challenges is where this needs to lie.
I don't want coaches' challenges on anything. I don't want coaches to have challenges, if you want me to be really honest.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I don't. Most of them are stupid. If you look at coaches' records with this, most of them are awful. I'm good. I don't need you doing that. I always thought that was part of what confounded the defensive pass interference thing, is you get bad information from up top, and then you review this, and you make the official second-guess himself, and then it just became so inconsistent because you're taking a second look at everything.
Well, it never became inconsistent because the refs just stuck with what they had.
In large part, yes.
They overturned like 4 of them all season.
It was more than that.
And that's when we stopped.
My thought is table the ejection thing. I'm just going to act like you didn't say that. And review it, but with very well-outlined parameters.
Should roughing the passer in the NFL be reviewed? Should it be a challengeable thing? Apparently, Troy Vincent says that's what we're going to be discussing in the offseason this year. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go approaching Long Shoals Road to approaching the French Broad River. 26 on the eastbound side, stop and go between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Brevard Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Brevard Road north and southbound, stop and go between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell's Days of Deals start now with savings on select XPS laptops and Alienware PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on accessories and free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
At Target, make the holidays a breeze with same-day pickup and delivery. Order today and get it today by choosing free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery when you order on Target.com or through the Target app. This season, get festive faster and holiday the easy way with Target's same-day pickup and delivery. Choose free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery on everything you need for the holidays. Only at Target.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It is the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville and, of course, on the Sportsocracy channel on YouTube. And we've got swift action from Mississippi State.
And this is exactly what should have happened. There was a lot of speculation about Cliff Kingsbury, a lot of other people that could take over from Mike Leach. Mississippi State has agreed to terms to promote defensive coordinator Zach Arnett to head coach. That's exactly how this should have gone. Swift action. I mean, look, you got a lot of kids here that are going to be in rough shape.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a leader. That's what Zach Arnett has proven to be. And this is a good call by Mississippi State.
Normally, I would understand, the usual path of this guy's going to be the interim coach while we figure out what's going on. That's not what's happening here. As far as I understand it, they're just a permanent head coach.
Yeah,
This is
4-year
Zach
deal
Arnett,
to be
done.
Yeah, 4-year deal to be the permanent head coach. And here's the reason that I think this had to happen. I said this yesterday. I got asked a lot of questions about who's going to take the Mississippi State job. That's the way SEC football works. And Mike Leach coached and mentored and gave opportunities to so many coaches that invariably the rumbling was going to start and it was going to become a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
This is an athletic program making swift, decisive action to do what's best for the young men in this program. And you don't see that enough in the NCAA. And we both felt like it deserved its kudos here at the end of the show. This is exactly how this needed to go. This is as hard a week as you could ever have in college football. Losing somebody in Mike Leach so suddenly, so early, this is the move you had to make.
Mm-hmm. Zach Arnett, the new permanent head coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. We will be back with you tomorrow at 3 right here on ESPN Asheville. And, of course, we will bring you the latest in the NFL. I'm surprised we didn't even talk about Zach Wilson being named the number 2.
Woo!
Jeremy doesn't care because it's Mike White season.
Yeah, it's because that 6'6" corpse that won a Super Bowl, yeah, he's bad, and he's really bad when he comes in cold.
Yes.
That means exactly 0.
We will see you back here tomorrow in the Ingles studio. Have a great evening.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Strong cold front on its way through western North Carolina to close down the work week with some 1-inch rains tonight into Thursday. Wind advisories above 3,500 feet and high wind warnings for the highest mountains on the state line. Could see some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts for tonight. And then the highest peaks early Thursday morning. Morning showers Thursday, high 51, low 30 tomorrow night. And then sunshine Friday with a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 west and eastbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Check out Bavard Road near Avery Creek, north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway is stop and go near the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound, slow between Long Shoals Road and Mills Gap Road. Sweden Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, slow. I'm Lee Benfield with your time saver